What if every hero's journey you've ever loved was actually a map? A map leading to the greatest treasure in the universe, your own true self. And yet, so many of us feel profoundly lost in our own lives. We follow the rules, we play the part, we build a life that's supposed to be right. But inside, there's a quiet emptiness, a persistent whisper that says, "Is this all there is?" You feel it, don't you? That gap between the person you pretend to be and the person you sense you could become. This video is the answer to that whisper. Using the timeless map of the hero's journey, we are going to decode the adventure your soul is calling you to take. By the end of our time together, you won't just understand the path. You will see your own story reflected in it, and you'll know the next step to take. To guide us, we'll follow the story of someone I call Alex. Alex could be any one of us, successful, yet unfulfilled, standing at a crossroads, hearing that same call you hear. Their journey is your journey. So take a deep breath, and let's take the first step together. The journey doesn't begin with a thunderclap. It begins with a quiet hum of discontent in a life that is, by all accounts, fine. This is the ordinary world, a world that looks right, that feels safe, but is slowly, quietly, suffocating your soul. This is where we meet Alex. On paper, Alex has it all. The good job, the nice apartment, the respect of their peers. They've checked all the boxes society handed them. But lately, in the quiet moments between meetings, or after the TV is turned off, a question surfaces, a feeling. It's not loud, it's a whisper. Is this it? This feeling, this question, this is the call to adventure. It's a signal from the deepest part of you, your true self. It's telling you that the map you've been following is leading to the wrong destination. It is not a sign that you've failed. On the contrary, it's a sign that you are ready for a more authentic story. But the first instinct for most of us, for Alex, is to dismiss it, to push it down, to get busier, to scroll more, to prove that the life we've built is the right one. We tell ourselves we're just tired or stressed, but the call doesn't work that way. It is patient, and it is persistent. Many of us hear this call, but what happens when you try to hang up? What happens when you hit snooze on your own soul? Sources. This is the second stage of the journey, the refusal of the call, and it is the most human stage of all. For Alex, hitting the snooze button looks like productivity. They throw themselves into work, chasing the next promotion, the next deadline. The hum of discontent is drowned out by the roar of ambition. After work, the silence is filled with endless scrolling, a parade of curated lives on a screen that make Alex's own perfectly good life feel gray. It's the extra glass of wine at night, the new series binge-watched until their eyes are blurry. Anything to avoid the quiet, anything to avoid the question. Why do we do this? Why do we refuse the one call that promises liberation? Because the known world, even if it's a gilded cage, is comfortable. The fine life is predictable. But the journey within, that is the great unknown. We are afraid of what we might find in the forest of our own minds. We're afraid of the monsters, afraid of getting lost. But perhaps most of all, we are afraid that if we truly look inside, we won't like the person we see. This refusal isn't a sign of weakness. It's a defense mechanism. The ego, the architect of this fine life, is trying to protect its creation. It's screaming, "Stay here. It's safe here. Don't listen to that whisper. It's dangerous out there." And so we listen. For a week, a month, maybe years. But a call from the true self doesn't have an expiration date. It doesn't go away. It just gets louder. The whisper becomes a voice. The voice becomes a roar, until one day life gives you a push. So what does it take to finally cross that threshold? What does it take to take that first terrifying step into the woods? Sometimes The push from life isn't a gentle nudge. It's a tremor that cracks the very foundations of your fine world. For Alex, it came during a performance review. They were praised for their efficiency, their reliability. Their manager even called them a linchpin. But then he added, almost as an afterthought, "I just wish I could see more of your passion." And in that sterile conference room, the word passion landed like a bomb. Alex realized they weren't just hiding their lack of passion from their boss, they were hiding it from themselves. That night, there was no TV, no scrolling, just the deafening silence and the roar of the call. And for the first time, Alex whispered back, "Okay, I'm listening. This is crossing the threshold. It is the moment of surrender. Not of giving up, but of giving in to the journey. It doesn't always look like a dramatic event. Crossing the threshold might be the day you finally buy that book that's been calling to you, or schedule that first therapy session, or even just sit in your car for 10 minutes in silence and ask the question, what do I truly want? It is the conscious decision to turn away from the map of shoulds and supposed tos and step into the uncharted territory of your own heart. You are intentionally leaving the paved roads and the streetlights behind. You are choosing to enter the woods at dusk, with no map, trusting that you will learn to see in the dark. And once you are inside that great wild forest of the self, you soon discover you are not alone. You will meet allies, and you will meet enemies. But the strange thing is, they often wear the same face. So how do you know who to trust? How do you know which voices to follow? The first voice you must learn to recognize is not a friend. It is the voice of the monster that guards the path, the voice of your own shadow. In psychology, the shadow is everything we have repressed about ourselves. All the parts we've been told are unacceptable. It's our dark side. But it is not evil. It is simply the unloved, unlived parts of you. It's the anger you swallow, the ambition you deny, the vulnerability you hide. And the more we push it down, the more it controls us from the darkness. For Alex, the shadow doesn't appear with horns and a pitchfork. It appears in the form of a co-worker named Ben. Ben is outspoken, creative, a little bit chaotic, and Alex can't stand him. Alex complains that Ben is unprofessional, attention-seeking. Every time Ben speaks up in a meeting with a bold idea, Alex feels a hot surge of irritation. This is the shadow's favorite trick, projection. We see the parts of ourselves we deny, screaming at us from the faces of others. One evening, after criticizing Ben to a friend, the friend simply asks, "Why does he bother you so much? It sounds a little like you're jealous." And the truth hits Alex like a physical blow. The anger at Ben isn't anger, it's grief. Grief for the creative, outspoken, brave part of Alex that they buried long ago to become the reliable, efficient employee. This is the battle in the dragon's lair. It's not a fight with swords, but a shattering of the ego. It's the terrifying, gut-wrenching moment of admitting to yourself, the thing I judge most harshly in the world is something that lives inside of me. It is a moment of pure vulnerability. But here is the great secret of the journey. When you have the courage to face the monster, you find it was never a monster at all. It was a guardian of a treasure you had forgotten. And after every great battle, a guide appears to help you understand what you've won. But this guide, too, was there all along, waiting for you to be ready. This guide is the second voice you learn to hear. It is the voice of your inner opposite, the hidden masculine within the feminine, and the hidden feminine within the masculine. Carl Jung called this guide the Anima and the Animus. For a man, the Anima is his inner feminine principle, his bridge to intuition, creativity, and deep relationship. For a woman, the Animus is her inner masculine principle, her bridge to logic, assertive action, and focused courage. This is not about gender stereotypes. It is about the beautiful balance of energies that exists within every whole human being. After the painful realization about their shadow, Alex makes a choice. They decide to listen to that buried, creative voice. If Alex is a man, he is learning to hear his anima. He buys a sketchbook and starts drawing, not for a project, but just for the joy of it. In a meeting, he offers an idea that isn't just logical, but also intuitive and from the heart. If Alex is a woman, she's connecting with her animus. She takes that creative grief and transforms it into assertive action. She drafts a proposal for a bold new project at work, the very kind of initiative she used to resent Ben for suggesting. She is no longer waiting for permission. This is the dance of integration. Alex isn't becoming a different person. They are becoming a more whole person. The cold efficiency of their old self is now warmed by creativity. The passive resentment is transformed into courageous action. They are learning to trust this new, inner guidance system. With this inner ally, this guide in the mirror, the hero is finally equipped. They have faced their monster and found their guide. Now they are ready to enter the darkest cave of all, the place where the ultimate treasure is kept. But what is this treasure, really? What is the secret that lies at the very center of the soul? The secret is this. The treasure you have been seeking was never truly lost. The gold you have been hunting in distant lands was never in a dragon's cave. It has always been right here, within you. This stage of the journey is called the ultimate boon, the reward. In all the myths, the hero seizes a sword, or a grail, or an elixir. But in the journey of the soul, the treasure is something far more valuable. It is the profound, earth-shattering realization that you are not broken, and you never were. All the parts you deemed unworthy, the shadow, the vulnerability, the fear, are not obstacles to be eliminated. They are essential parts of your own magnificent wholeness. For Alex, this moment doesn't happen on a mountaintop. It happens on a Tuesday morning while waiting for the coffee to brew. There is no flash of light, only a deep, quiet, unshakable feeling of okayness. They think of Ben, their co-worker, and feel no anger, only a quiet empathy. They think of their own unprofessional creativity and feel no shame, only a gentle affection. They are not a perfect person. They are simply a whole person. They have stopped fighting the war inside themselves. This is the gold, the freedom from the need to be perfect, the peace that comes from no longer being at war with yourself. It is the ability to look in the mirror and see not just the parts you like, but to see every part and to offer all of it a single powerful word. Welcome. This inner peace is the greatest reward of the journey. But the journey is not over yet. The hero must now return to the ordinary world they left behind, carrying this precious, fragile treasure. And this can be the most dangerous part of all. Why is the return trip so dangerous? Because you have changed, but the world you left behind has not. You are trying to fit an infinite soul back into a finite box, and it will no longer fit. This is the road back. And it is the ultimate test of your transformation. It's easy to feel whole and enlightened in solitude, but can you maintain that wholeness in traffic, in a stressful meeting, at a family dinner? This stage forces the resurrection, the death of the old roles you used to play, and the birth of your authentic self in the real world. For Alex, this means the good job suddenly feels unbearable. The office politics they once navigated with ease now feel like a pointless game. The praise from their manager, once a source of validation, now feels hollow. One day, Alex's boss offers them a major promotion, the very thing old Alex dreamed of, and new Alex hears themselves say, with a calm they didn't know they possessed, "Thank you, but no." It also means re-evaluating relationships. Friendships based on gossip or complaint suddenly feel draining. A romantic partner who loved the predictable Alex may feel threatened by this new, more authentic version. It is a time of shedding, and it can feel lonely. The danger of the road back is the temptation to hide your treasure, to put the mask back on just to keep the peace. But the reward for your courage is a life that is finally aligned. Your outer world slowly begins to reflect the truth of your inner world. It is not an easy process. It requires saying no. It requires setting boundaries. It requires choosing the discomfort of authenticity over the comfort of conformity. And as you build this new life, brick by authentic brick, a final question emerges. What was this all for? What is the purpose of this great, painful, beautiful ordeal? What is the gift, the elixir, that the hero is meant to bring back to their community? The final stage of the journey is called the return with the elixir. And the elixir is this, your purpose. It is the unique gift that only you can offer the world, precisely because of the journey you have taken. This isn't always about finding a single grand meaning of life. For most of us, the elixir is far more intimate. It is the medicine you create just by being your fully integrated self. It is the parent who, having healed their own wounds, can raise a child in wholeness. It is the artist who, having faced their own darkness, can create art that helps others feel less alone. It is the leader who, having found their own authenticity, can lead with compassion and integrity. So, what about Alex? After leaving the good job, Alex doesn't have a grand plan, but they start following that creative curiosity. They start a small woodworking project in their garage. Then they start teaching a weekend class for kids in the neighborhood. Alex isn't trying to build an empire. They are simply sharing the joy they have rediscovered in themselves. The elixir Alex brings back is not a magic potion. It is the simple, powerful presence of a person who is living in alignment with their true self. And that presence, that authenticity, is profoundly healing for everyone they interact with. The great irony of the journey is this: you must go inward, into the lonely depths of your own soul, in order to find the gift you are meant to give outward. You must heal yourself to help heal your corner of the world. Your greatest wounds, once integrated, become the source of your unique medicine. And so the hero's journey completes its circle. From the ordinary world to the adventure within and back again, forever changed, carrying a gift to share. We have followed Alex's journey, but the truth is this story has no end, because now it becomes your story. The hero's journey is not a straight line. It is a spiral. You will be called again and again, each time to a deeper level of the forest, a new layer of your own being. The framework we've explored today is just a map. But you are the traveler. You are the hero of your own epic. You do not need to be perfect to begin. You do not need to have all the answers. You only need the courage to listen, to honor the whisper. So I will leave you with the same question that started it all. The question Alex answered in the silence of their room. What is your soul whispering to you right now? What is the first, small, terrifying, beautiful step you can take today to answer that call? You don't have to share it with the world. You only have to share it with yourself. But if this story resonated and you feel comfortable, let us know in the comments. Not with a long explanation, but with a single word that describes your call. Courage, freedom, creativity, peace. Let's remind each other that we are not alone in this forest. Thank you for walking this path with me.